Yeah, I mean, the first time I watched Evangelion, I was like, oh, what the fuck? All right. I was like, oh, that's how they're going to end it. And like, you know, some people love finding the deeper meaning in that. And I'm just like, that was a bit shit. I'm just going to get on with my life. Like it just really concerned me. I wish I cared, but I don't. And then like maybe a video will be my recommended.
Convenient monkey mode activation.
Yeah. I think I've like programmed my brain to like just make my life easier. So like when I want to just, you know, stuff like that might drive some people mad, I'm just like, monkey forget. Monkey move on.
I just find it funny how, like, considering, like, in a previous episode, you said, like, how you love to challenge yourself every day. You definitely do not like to challenge yourself on anime.
But, like, what is thinking about the end of Evangelion challenging you in any way? How is that?
Well, not necessarily end of Eva, but, like, you know, something like, you know, like a Fully Cooley or like a Tekkon Kinkri, where it's like, there are deeper meanings behind it.
Why would that be a challenge?
Okay, here's the thing. Where you watch it once and you can't get everything you can't enjoy it fully from just, like, watching it once.
Yeah. But like, why would that challenge you though?
Well, in challenge as in like, it makes you think about its themings more and kind of challenges your, I guess, like perception of how you like consume it. I guess it's hard to describe. Like,
it challenges it. Fuck.
Right? Like, how do you explain it? It's like
I've broke them. I like when I watch those things where it's like the deeper meaning, everything. Yeah. More often than not, like I realize that that's what they're doing, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I'll like go on Google and I'll be like, what were they trying to say?
But like, don't you like? Because I find like some enjoyment in kind of watching it and trying to figure it out myself. You know what I mean?
Okay, no, sometimes. I got a good way to describe it. It's like unraveling a puzzle by yourself, and it's like playing a puzzle game, right? You're given the pieces, and you know you're not told what the right answer is, but it's up to you, and it's up to you to unravel it yourself.
And I got one of my friends who got me into like StarCraft. I got him to watch Ava, and I wanted to try that just with one person. I didn't want to like bring in a whole group of people into
Hey guys, group viewing.
So I kind of was just like, eeny, meeny, okay, you watch Ava. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll give it a go. And he was kind of meh about it at first.
I like anime, and I was like at points like kind of like,
and that was the moment where I was like, oh, gateway anime are important. And Ava is not that.
Always Death Note. You can never go wrong with Death Note.
Yeah, so I think that one friend, he watched Ava, and then he eventually found Death Note. Okay, I mean, first of all, I'm surprised that Senju Gahara was like your waifu, because I always thought it was fucking Asuka.
No, I mean, like, Asuka was someone who I could just respect for. Connor's just dying in his corner here.
For like 5 years, I was an anime fan who hadn't watched Evangelion. People would be like, dude, it's epic, right? I'm like, yeah, dude, like, get in the robot. Yeah, my dad hates me. Like, yeah, dude, love that. Love the part where the mechs fight. Dude. That shit's crazy. just do that.
I admittedly did that a little bit with Bleach.
And also, when I watch Evangelion, I was just 10 or 11.
What?
Yeah.
How could you understand anything?
Hey, same here, actually. Same here. I'm glad someone...
I don't know if I was understanding everything, but... there is mecha, there's alien. Okay, I have to beat them.
They're the bad guy.
That's all you like understand about Ava when you're like 10, right? It's like good guys, bad guys.
I mean, I'll be honest. I watched it last year, and that's pretty much my understanding.
Also, the characters was 14 at the story, and I was 11, so
close enough, right?
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah,
okay,
true.
Pilot it.
Yeah, it's gonna be me, Mom.
Maybe I can be in the Ava.
I actually have a similar story about like Ava, because Ava is the second proper anime that I watched after discovering it was anime. So the first anime I ever watched, knowing it was an anime, was Naruto. And how I found that was I was on a random gaming forum, and you know, it was back when having anime avatars was actually cool. You know, and I was like, oh, what are these avatars that people have? They look really cool. And I found that one guy had this avatar that was from the show called Naruto, and I'm like, oh, this kind of looks like Dragon Ball Z. Watched Naruto, fucking loved it. Introduced me to anime properly, and then I went on the same gaming forum and I made like an anime thread. I was like, guys, this Naruto thing's awesome. Can you guys recommend me something else to watch like Naruto? And some guy, dead ass, goes, you should watch Evangelion. It's totally like Naruto.
Totally.
So I went into Evangelion as like a 11, 12-year-old thinking it was a shonen anime.
Oh my god.
And so for like the first, I'd say half of it could like maybe have like passed as a shonen because, you know, Shinji could have still, you know, Shinji was still doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then the halfway point hit and then everyone just got sad and depressed. And my 11-year-old mind was just like, why are people like this? This is so stupid. This is so unrealistic. I remember thinking as an 11-year-old, this is the writing of the show is so bad because the adults don't have their shit together. Why is that so? Why don't the adults have their shit together? This is so unrealistic.
I just imagine like 11-year-old guy going up to his mom being like, "Mother, what is depression?" I learned it in this show called Evangelion.
And now I'm just like, oh yeah. So no adults just have their shit together. That's just life. Anyway, enough about scams. I'm gonna hijack this podcast for a moment, and turn it back into an anime podcast.
What?
Because I need to. I just need to. Okay.
We don't watch it.
I just let me have this. Let me have this corner. Let me have this because
I know exactly what you're gonna talk about.
Of course you do.
I don't.
Of course you do, Joey. So this weekend I watched the new Evangelion movie. And
How did you not see this coming, Connor? He was literally tweeting about it all week.
I need to talk about this because I need to move on with my life.
This man's tweeted about it like he watched like 13 Reasons Why for the first time.
I'm glad though you finally watched it because again I watched it on the day it came out in the cinemas, which was like fucking 6 months ago or something. It was a really long time ago, and I was like, I want to talk about it so bad on the podcast, but these two haven't seen it, so I'm just gonna bottle this emotion up, and now I can finally pop the bottle.
Yeah, like I watched it and I literally like cannot move on with my life. Yeah. Like I literally like
it's like witnessing the death of a family member. You know, it's like actually mortifying. I'm like, oh my god.
So
yeah,
it's no more
good or bad kind of death. Like the weird cousin that you didn't really like.
Okay. I don't know how to like possibly convey the feeling I felt, but what I will say is that I mean, like, I shouldn't have ever been a monk at all, right? that was a fucking scam. Because if I wanted to feel Zen, if I wanted to reach Nirvana, I should have just been an Ava fan, right? Because I felt more Zen after this end of Ava, than I ever did as a monk.
Was it that good?
It was.
It's the type of movie that you can't just clean.
What is this?
Let me explain.
Simple fucking
Let me explain.
question.
It's the type of movie that you can't just clean up with the word good, or bad, because it's neither of those. It's just like
That sounds like it's mediocre.
No, it's definitely not mediocre.
Definitely not mediocre.
If it's anything, it's not mediocre.
Yeah.
It is the polar opposite of mediocre.
Yeah.
I saw the IMDb page. The reviews were kind of,
all over the place.
Yeah. 7, 8. It was around about 7, 8.
It's like, I think the only way I can describe that last movie is
Do you have to have a very IQ to understand AFA?
you have to what?
Honestly,
you kind of do actually. Like, I'm not even getting like.
Yeah, that's why they called it 3.0
plus 1.0,
which is like the most pretentious fucking title.
It's very difficult to figure out that's full.
If you can't perform rudimentary mathematics, then you're just not even allowed.
Because you watched the original Ava when it got released on Netflix, right?
I did.
What was your opinions of
the TV
it
series
at the time? Yeah, he watched the TV series.
7 out of 10. It was fine. I understand why everyone is so hyped about it.
Yeah.
Did you?
I could see why you'd watch this and that you would remember this.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was that amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's like I think that's the common
It
thing
leaves
for
an
it,
impression.
Yeah.
I think I'll say that much.
Yeah.
And you can't. This isn't like the irregular high school, whatever the fuck that one is, where you're like, I literally don't even know who you are, and I'm 20 episodes into this. Like,
there's 4 seasons of that shit as well.
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't even know that.
Yeah.
There's
like a spin-off coming this season as well, and it's like it's.
Well, yeah, it's one of those shows that definitely was like, I understand entirely why this is iconic, and everyone is in love with this.
Yeah.
I just personally wasn't that into it.
Did you leave satisfied?
No, not at all.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because that was my experience.
That was the worst part.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ending.
Oh, let
Yeah,
me
yeah.
ask you then. Did you leave satisfied?
With the
With
original Ava?
No, with 4.0.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
I-
The TV series, though. It was shit.
No.
ending.
The TV series left everyone unsatisfied.
I mean, like, I remember the first 2 times I watched Ava, I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
My God, because the first time I watched it, I was 12. Of course, I wasn't
Of
going
course.
to. Of course, I was not going to understand
Okay, yeah,
Ava
that's true.
when I was 12. And then I rewatched it.
Not enough IQ. to
Yeah, I
enjoy it.
rewatched it to review it as an AniTuber, and then I was just like, "This is even worse than I remember it."
Right,
Because now I'm actually invested in the characters and the world and the mysteries that
You
built
actually
up.
understand it, sort of.
It
Yeah.
felt like a slap in the face.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Someone who
Of course.
spent
Yeah.
all day watching it.
I
Yeah.
just, what did I end up with? Applause and congratulations. That's it.
It's
Like,
I was
cool,
like- I was
thanks.
like, is this it? This is it?
It's like the show was mocking me, being like, congratulations. You
Yeah.
sat through all of this for nothing.
This is
Yeah.
it? So they could milk like another 50 years out of this of movies?
Hell
Is
yeah,
that-
dude.
Is that it? Is that literally it?
And then
Arno was 5 head in that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
He was
He was-
planning ahead.
it was fucking 5 and then I remember going on the internet fucking angry, and I'm just like, surely that can't be the ending. And then people were just like, yo, have you heard of this movie called
End of Ava.
End of Evangelion,
That
which
isn't the end of it.
which is I mean, it is and end of Ava.
Yeah.
Whether you are satisfied with that ending,
Is that like the alternative ending one?
It's
yes.
alternative, but it's also canon.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
So kind of the history behind the first 2 the TV series ending is that, as you could probably tell, the studio just kind of ran out of money and ran out of like budget, so they had to like piece together something, right? And so that was the ending that you saw, and so either fans were so unsatisfied that they sent Anno and the company death threats, or Anno himself was unsatisfied with the ending that he decided to make.
Let's just put a bunch of clapping. Call
Yeah.
it a day. Yeah. Everyone's gonna love it.
Let's just
It's art.
Yeah, let's make another ending to
Yeah.
Ava, and that's the end of Evangelion. And people were just like, "All right, I'm ready now. This is the ending that we never got."
It's
for
in the
Ava."
title of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movie.
it's called
And
End of
and
Ava.
And it's not even the ending, right? That's what I understand.
It's a ending.
Is it like, oh, fuck.
It's definitely a ending, but it definitely doesn't leave you satisfied.
Okay, so what's the watch order of Evangelion? What order?
One.
No. So TV show, then movies.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so 1.0 is basically the first, I'd say, 15 episodes of the
Right,
TV
there was
series.
an abridged movie.
Yeah.
It's basically just like a Cliff Notes version of the TV series. And then 2.0, the first half of 2.0, it approaches the original ending of the TV series, but then goes on a
Oh,
different
that's fucking
route.
cheeky. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he
And this aired in theaters.
It's
Yeah,
aired
yeah.
in theaters.
Those cheeky fucks just made 1/3 of a movie and called it a day.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my god! Maybe
Yeah.
I should just make shit things and re-release them again in future and add another 20 minutes.
So basically,
on.
the second half of 2.0, and mind you, I don't fully remember everything because it was a while since I watched it, but
I do.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
do.
I'm
I-
pretty-
All right, go on, all
talking
right.
to someone who literally knows every frame of the first movie because I fucking abridged it.
Go on then. Talk about it.
So like 1.0 is basically just almost a shot-for-shot recreation of like the first 4 or 5 episodes, and then
But with cleaner art, right?
yeah, with cleaner art and minor differences. And then 2.0 like is still like very, very similar to like episodes maybe like 6 to 18-ish.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean it has other differences. It introduces a new character, which is the girl with glasses,
Mari.
and it has other like minor differences. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same. And then
I feel like introducing a whole new character is not the same.
I mean,
It's the same until you introduce the character.
yeah, and it's the same until you introduce it. And then 3.0 and 4.0, which I'm gonna call 4.0 because 3
Yeah.
plus 1 is 4.
It's-
What
it's
asshole
dumb.
called it that?
It's dumb.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
it's,
did they
it is
do
dumb.
that?
It is dumb.
It's an
Why?
asshole called Anno Hideaki.
yeah.
That's who
For
named
fuck's
that.
sake.
3.0 and 4.0 are like completely different. So it's like almost like a
That's completely original.
yeah. It's
It feels like the
completely
first time you walked into Starbucks and realized it was not medium, small, and large.
yeah
3.0 and 4.0 are completely original.
yeah.
So
they
I
good?
watched. So I watched 3.0 on the day it came out in cinemas. I was 16 when that came out.
Okay.
So it was literally 10 years ago, and I only seen it once.
Yeah.
So imagine me going to the cinemas, day one airing of 4.0. right? And I'm like, and I was like, I got this. I still remember.
you don't got this.
I was like, I don't got this because
Yeah.
literally the first 5 minutes of 4.0, it does a recap. And I'm like, oh, thank God. That's great because there's a 10-year gap, right?
Yeah.
So it goes through like super fast, like super artistic way of just being like, here's what happened in 1.0. Here's what happened 2.0. Here's what happened 3.0. Goes through 1.0. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just the TV series. I've seen
Yeah.
TV series many times. Got it in the bag.
Yeah.
2.0, I was like, okay, yep, still the TV series, but introduce the new character. All right, cool.
Yeah.
3.0, I'm just like, I don't remember any of that shit. What the fuck is going on? And then
Yeah.
4.0 just begins. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool. So I'm literally going into this movie with maybe about a 5% understanding of what has happened so far.
It's all good, man, because I don't think that would have helped you at all. Because the reason I chose not to see it in cinemas, right,
Yeah.
was because obviously it wasn't subbed, it was in Japanese.
Of
And
course.
with a series like Ava, I wanted to at least try to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
Because I did remember what happened in 3.0, so I was like, I remember most of the plot points, so I'll be able to follow along easily. So finally, I waited for it to come out, and I was just like, I should have just seen this in theaters because I have as much of an understanding of what's going on in my own language than I do in a fucking other language that I'm like barely understanding.
4.0, for me, 4.0 was like, all right, cool. That's a line I understood what they were saying. I think I'm starting to get it. And then literally the next line, I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And I'm like, this is a language I am fluent. This is my first language that they're speaking in. It sounds like a different language. There's just so much terminology being thrown around, which
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some kind of explanation of probably in 3.0.
Yeah.
But of course, I have a 10-year gap with 3.0. Obviously, I don't remember that
the
shit.
definitive way to watch it is to watch 3 and immediately start 4.
Probably.
I don't think it even matters because I
not
doubt
gonna remember anything.
I doubt a lot of people are going to be able to follow along in their first watch through anyway
No.
because so much terminology gets fucking thrown around and just
Yeah.
gets like pulled out of his ass. Like some of the scenes I'm just like, I don't know if you're a genius or a madman. Like
Oh yeah, and then here's the more fucked up thing that I realized. If there's anything I got out of 4.0, it's the fact that there is literally information in 4.0. You will have no idea what the fuck it is unless you read the manga.
yeah.
It's
I
like
agree.
Anno literally took every iteration. It was like it took bits from the TV series, it took bits from End of Ava, it took even little bits from Death and Rebirth,
Yeah.
and the manga, and just combined it all together. So it's like
Wait, what
if
is
you're
Death and Rebirth?
that's the other movie.
Yeah, it's just basically a recap movie.
fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
it's a recap movie, but
Well,
there's like small,
yeah.
minor details in Death and Rebirth that are only specific to Death and Rebirth.
But like for someone like you, I wouldn't even recommend watching.
exhausted
yeah.
hearing
yeah,
this.
you don't have to watch Death and Rebirth.
Yeah. I mean, I'm,
watch 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah,
I mean, if
and End of Ava.
if you feel like it, because
do I really need to watch End of Ava?
End of Ava
no,
is-
you do like if you wanted to get into End of Ava, get into Evangelion as a franchise, then yeah, you need to watch End of Ava.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. Because if you're just looking for like a normal TV series, a normal story to get like entertained so much so where you're looking for like a normal plot arc, you're looking for mysteries to be solved, that's just not going to happen as you've just experienced once. I think what's so special about Ava is that it's a series that's just so powerful that if you kind of relate to what Anno was trying to portray on screen, like you said yourself, you could tell why a lot of people saw this as like a really powerful series that affected them, right? And
Yeah.
it's just because it is just that raw and powerful. Because Ava, like I didn't get Ava the first few times I watched it. Like I said, I was like, I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And then like I reached a period in life later where I started to like fucking resonate more with what was being portrayed on screen. I wouldn't say I understood the entire plot, but I don't think that's the point of Ava. I don't think the point of Ava is to understand the plot.
Yeah.
I don't think the point of Ava is to like, you can't just look at the shiny robots fighting the big monsters if you want. But I think the true magic of Ava was just Anno pouring his heart out on screen and capturing capturing his psyche in a sense.
Yeah.
And that's why you can view it and you can just be like, I don't get it. This is a complete mind fuck, which it is. It is an absolute mind
I
fuck.
truly think, especially with 4.0, I truly think the only person on the planet who can fully understand 4.0 and all of Ava is Anno.
Yeah.
There's probably working on the movie. They're like,
No.
so what is it?
I guarantee.
I guarantee, yeah,
Because
yeah.
4.0, I feel, especially 4.0, is like a true. Not only is it like a true love letter to Ava, but
Yeah.
there's so much stuff that Arno just crammed into it that really has nothing to do with Ava. It's literally like he just threw it in because he likes it.
Yeah.
And I feel that's what Ava is. It's like it's literally a series that Arno was like, I like robots, I like monsters, I like kaiju fights, I love all of this shit that I personally enjoy. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cram this shit into one series, and that's Ava.
Yeah, because like you like BoJack, right?
Yeah, I still haven't watched the last season. I'm too scared.
Yeah, because I feel like BoJack is probably the closest big American show that I can compare to Ava, because both deal with
BoJack is the Ava of
Get
cartoons.
get in the robot, BoJack.
I mean, it is kind of. It's such a weird comparison, but that is
BoJack is Shinji.
it's
I mean, BoJack was like, I guess BoJack was very clear in what it was trying to portray.
Right.
yeah.
I guess I was slightly confused many times during Eva. I'm like,
Yeah.
am I supposed to feel sorry for Shinji?
Well,
It's-
that's an entire character
No, because
study in and of
that's
itself.
because both are the kind of same with what they try to tackle. They try to tackle broken characters trying to just find value in themselves and just live with themselves, right? That's what both series try to do. BoJack has a much more structured story, much more defined character arcs, and it's just easier to follow
and less technical bullshit.
Well,
lingo.
I felt like, you in BoJack, you got to like see why he was so fucked up. And I felt like in Evangelion, we didn't really learn much about Shinji. And he was just whining.
I definitely feel like I think the finer details are there if for people who want to look into it deeper. But I feel especially the movies do a really good job in portraying Shinji as this like broken kid.
Yeah, because I mean, he's a 14-year-old kid who has like massive daddy issues because his dad's an absolute fucking arsehole.
Yeah.
Never grew up with his mum. Is forced to pilot a fucking giant robot at the age of 14 and has to
I
save
don't know
the
why
world.
he's sad about this. This is amazing. I
I
14-year-old me would have killed
I
for the
mean,
opportunity.
I'm not gonna say any spoilers for 4.0, but
Yeah.
especially in 4.0, his dad is fucked.
Yeah, his like, I didn't think his dad could get even more fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my
4.0,
God.
it's like it goes from like 1 to 100. I'm
Yeah.
like, you cannot be serious.
Yeah, but I think like the reason Ava is such an important series to so many people, including myself, is that it just hits these emotional notes that I've just never seen in any other piece of media, and I think that's because Anno didn't give a shit about telling a story that was easy to follow. He just wanted to like put something out there. He just wanted to put his emotions into something, and that's
Yeah.
what I feel from him, and that's why it's so like to so many people. This is such an important thing because it's rare that you see something that isn't so well defined, but that you can relate to in an emotional sense.
It's like it's almost not storytelling. Like Arno's not really storytelling, as he is almost just emoting.
I really can't describe Ava without sounding like that pretentious dickhead, right? Because I hear myself and I'm just like, it's kind of just art,
Yeah.
because
Well, I mean,
What a wanker.
it's one of those things where I think I definitely with TV shows and media, as opposed to traditional art, I very much prefer it when they essentially tell what they're trying
Yeah,
to
of
get
course.
across.
This is like,
and as much as you could argue, oh, okay, well that's for dumb people and whatnot. And it's like also like, well, I feel that if it is art, I suppose it can be, but then also sometimes it isn't marketed as such.
Yeah.
Like when you look at a painting, there's no doubt in your mind that it's art and you can interpret it however you want and you get whatever you want out of it. But I think with TV shows, because it's such a different medium, it's, what is art supposed to be when it's TV and film?
But I would argue that some of the best shows are the ones that can present an artistic idea in an artistic way,
Yeah, in
but
a way
make it
that-
simple enough for anyone to enjoy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel that's like really just good storytelling.
Well, that's why I think BoJack Horseman is amazing.
Yeah,
I
BoJack
agree.
Horseman.
Because I felt like it delivered a topic that I think a lot of people and a lot of older people don't really think about or care
don't
about.
talk about.
Yeah.
And I think like I'm not bringing down BoJack because I also think it's an amazing fucking show. I just think like Evangelion is so unique because if there's one thing that doesn't make fucking sense or you can't logically always follow, it's emotions, right? Sometimes you just feel something and you're just like, why the fuck do I feel this? Like I logically don't know why I feel this and I shouldn't feel this. And like that's what Ava portrays so well. It's not meant to be logical in a lot of senses, but sometimes you just see something, I'm just like, I don't know why I kind of relate to this, but I just do. I don't know why I resonate with this, but I just do. And that's been my experience with Ava. And I guess the biggest thing that I never got from Ava was the satisfying conclusion of like closure. Like this is it.
An actual ending.
Like this is it, right? I am satisfied because, you know, I kind of, you know, as an Ava fan, you found your own fucking closure. You watched End of Ava and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch? I need someone, sometimes you need someone to help you process what you just watched. And like, you know, that sometimes you spend hours reading up analysis and reading up this and reading up that, and you're just like...
And End of Ava is one of those movies where like you watch it and you go, that was awesome. But then the moment your brain actually kicks in and goes, but do you know what it was about? That's the moment. That's the moment where you have like the existential dread. Like, wait, maybe it wasn't good. Fuck.
Why do you think I didn't enjoy or connect with Evangelion? Do you reckon there's a reason
I
why?
feel maybe it's because you were kind of overhyped from like the outside. I think like I think maybe like
what were your expectations coming in?
Yeah,
something deep.
Maybe that's what it is, right?
You know,
because Ava is
impactful.
like Ava is simultaneously the deepest thing, but also at the same time something that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you watch to per se enjoy, because I remember like the only times I've actually kind of understood Ava really depended on what mindset I was in. I couldn't just...
Yeah, I thought I was under the impression that it was going to be some form of interesting take on like being a teenager and struggling with mental health issues.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, to a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's just not told in a way that is just traditional. You know, it's told in a very raw. It's told in a very raw way where they don't care about you following the story. They just wanted to like put these raw thoughts and raw emotions, put it on screen, and then just put it out there. That's what I got from it, which is why like the time that I connected with Ava the most just happened to be the point when I was in the worst point in my life. You know, it's just something where it's not something I think people should watch to enjoy. I think people should watch it to experience it. And maybe you didn't enjoy this time. I didn't enjoy it the first time I watched it, but maybe there would be a point when you just like, where some of the words or something from it rang out to you and just like, maybe this is the time.
Are you saying that Ava is an acquired taste?
No, Joey, stop putting words in my mouth. And what I will say about End of Ava, Ava 4.0, without spoiling what happens, because I'm not going to spoil that experience. The only thing I will kind of say is that it is a conclusive full stop.
Yeah.
And I remember because growing up, I don't know how to convey to you what it's like growing up with a franchise and being like, this franchise is going to be around forever. There is never going to be an end for this franchise. And you kind of make peace with that, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember when the movie got released, I remember we were memeing up to be like, oh, can't wait for 5.0 in like 20 years. Can't wait for, I know, to like dig up the grave of Ava. And I remember like, I talked to plenty of Japanese people who were just like, no, this is the end. I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Joey goes sees it. Nabi goes sees it. And they're like, this is the end. I'm like, sure. All right, bet.
It's literally you won't believe it until you see it.
Yeah, it is. And then
I'll watch the movies.
I mean, you can choose. I'm not like, I have like.
I've decided. I'm going to watch them.
You're going to watch them?
You have decided?
残酷な天使のように